For a long time, the Infinity Blade series stood at the vanguard of mobile gaming. These games were tough, took advantage of the smartphone's touchscreen, and changed dramatically over time. The trilogy's last installment is also one of the best by a long shot. The upgrades to the game's gameplay are certainly commendable, but one cannot overlook the brilliance of the game's stunning aesthetics, which are still in excellent condition. Hironobu Sakaguchi's latest excursion into the JRPG genre is likewise highly entertaining. Fantasian is a fantastic game that genre aficionados should certainly check out. The game's excellent art style and brilliant pre-rendered backgrounds make it one of the most gorgeous games on the App Store. Because of the game's current graphics, it can only be played on the most powerful computers. Dead Cells should, by all rights, be a game that everyone knows because of its fantastic gameplay. If players give this little-known game a chance, they'll quickly find that Dead Cells is one of the best games available. The fact that it's also available on mobile means that even more people will be able to enjoy this masterpiece. Keep in mind that touch controls may not be the ideal way to deal with Dead Cells' violence. Gacha games may be found all over the mobile video game market. After all, it's one of the most effective strategies to keep profits consistent. Exo's Heroes is one of the most beautiful gacha games available for mobile devices. Just bear in mind that the grind in this game may be downright annoying at times, and spending real money to make any progress is a possibility sooner rather than later. Journey's amazing creators have launched a smartphone game that is equally as gorgeous and thoughtful. Sky, Children of the Night is a one-of-a-kind mobile game that any game enthusiast should play. The game is updated on a regular basis and is a terrific way to unwind after a long day. Sky, Children of the Light is a must-have for everyone looking for a lovely and calm experience in the palm of their hand. The original Dead Trigger's gameplay was essentially a hackneyed zombie shooter with little to offer in the way of innovation. However, one must acknowledge that the graphics of this game were great for a smartphone game. Dead Trigger 2's aesthetics, on the other hand, blasted its predecessor out of the water. From a graphical standpoint, it's easily one of the most demanding mobile games of all time, and any mobile user with a capable device should absolutely try it out to push their system to its limits. In the mobile gaming market, horror games are highly popular. Out of all the games in the shop, though, Endless Nightmare's aesthetics are in a league of their own. Endless Nightmare is a must-have for anyone looking for a frightening mobile experience with a touch of visual flair. After all, it's one of Android's most graphically demanding games. One of the most popular mobile game franchises is The Room. It takes advantage of the ubiquitous touchscreens found in current phones and uses a playstyle that feels very natural to them. The Room Old Sims, the most recent game in the series, clearly has the best graphics in a trilogy known for its visuals. Players with strong smartphones will undoubtedly get the most out of this graphically challenging mobile game. Square Enix is no stranger to the mobile video game market, having released a number of mobile versions of their critically regarded titles. Along with this, they've also produced a number of original IPs, the most noteworthy of which is the Chaos Rings trilogy. Although most people believe the second game to be leagues ahead in terms of gameplay and plot, the third game in the series is clearly one of the heaviest games for Android devices. Regardless, there's no doubting that Chaos Rings 3 is a wonderful JRPG to try out if you want to try out a JRPG with excellent graphics. Black Desert is one of the most underappreciated MMORPGs, with most people praising its visually stunning graphics. So it's fantastic to see that this game is now getting some much-needed international attention, including a mobile port. Black Desert Mobile is without a doubt one of the most difficult mobile games available. Players with a high-end phone, on the other hand, should absolutely give this game a shot. PUBG, the game that made the battle royale genre one of the most popular today, first launched on PC in 2017 and then on mobile the following year. You may anticipate it to graphically push your gadget to the maximum if you have the internet strength to stay competitive. Switch to extreme mode if you have the horsepower for up to 90 frames per second, a huge advantage over inferior devices. For the competitive player, graphics may be less crucial than FPS, but there are HDR and Ultra HD options if you truly want to enjoy the surroundings. The Nimian Legends games are among the most gorgeous games on mobile platforms, despite their lack of fame. BrightRidge and its sequel Banjals are open-world role-playing games set in gorgeous fantasy realms. The menu is chock full of graphical options, allowing you to decide what the most critical parts are, or if you want to crank everything up to 11 for maximum impact. Both games include an exploring option that allows you to explore the environment without worrying about adversaries, as well as a photo mode that allows you to capture the best of what the world has to offer. Call of Duty is another series that requires no introduction. It has been a fixture of gaming for many years, and Call of Duty Mobile was published in 2019. It reached 270 million downloads in less than a year and won accolades for Best Mobile Game at both the BAFTAs and the Game Awards. You'll need a new phone, but if you're lucky enough to have one, you may expect up to 120 frames per second. You can also lower the graphics quality to increase the frame rate, as this will not affect your ability to see and fire the enemy. The Asphalt series has always pushed the limits of graphics capability on mobile, and their latest games are no exception. It's one of the best-looking racing games on mobile, with HDR graphics and up to 60 frames per second. With over 50 distinct cars and 800 different events, as well as career and multiplayer options, there is plenty of content. The game should keep you occupied as you enjoy the lovely graphics, thanks to regular seasonal upgrades and improvements. Fighting games aren't typically linked with smartphones, but if you're going to play one, this is the most visually appealing. But it's not only a fighting game, it's also an RPG. Your playable character's appearance and weapons can be customized, and as the tale progresses, you'll get access to new equipment and skills. On the Play Store, this game has over 3 million reviews with an average of 4.3 stars, most of which praise the graphics and animations. It's undoubtedly pleasing to the eye, with visuals up to 1440p and 60 FPS. It's the most popular game on the planet, and while you'll have to jump through a few hoops to access it, Fortnite is still available on Android devices. Fortnite operates at 60 frames per second on mobile devices, but at the expense of the resolution, which is reduced to compensate. Epic may bring that capability to Android at some time, as the iPad Pro was capable of up to 120 FPS. Shadowgun Legends is the third sequel in the Shadowgun trilogy, and it's another first-person shooter that'll put your phone to the test. Each of the games has received accolades, and it's easy to see why when you view the graphics on a high-end mobile device. Legends plays at 60 frames per second, however many users have reported that, when combined with the highest graphic settings, their phones become quite hot. You'll need a really strong gadget if you want both the frames per second and the graphics. Genuine Racing 3 is a racing game for enthusiasts of real racing, believe it or not. The game is designed to be a realistic racing experience, complete with real courses, cars, and drivers. Do you want to race against Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel in a Formula 1 season? If that's the case, this game is for you. The game's proprietary time-shifted multiplayer algorithm, which generates fully interacting opponents depending on other players' performance, rather than merely ghosts, is one of the game's main draws. However, the game's aesthetics are not to be overlooked, with realistic car damage and working rearview mirrors. Genshin Impact is a relatively new game that has already made a significant impression. A big open world with plenty to do, the existing material will keep you occupied for hours, and more is being added all the time. Even if you don't take up the missions, you'll be able to enjoy the scenery by jogging or gliding around. You should be able to get up to 60 frames per second on the most capable devices. It also has cross-save functionality with PC, allowing you to play on the big screen at home and then pick up where you left off on your phone. Ark, a popular survival game that has been downloaded over 10 million times from the Play Store, is another game that has successfully made the transition from PC and console to mobile. Players will be stranded on a desert island teeming with dinosaurs and will have to fend for themselves, create shelters, and protect themselves from the local fauna. The frame rate is capped at 30, which isn't a big deal for a game like this. On higher-end devices, you can increase the graphical quality and see some stunning dinosaurs.
Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the page.